Good evening. Namaste. So welcome to yet another session, AMA session. Okay, ask me anything session which happens every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Yeah, Kavita, good evening. Okay, I just had my dinner. So let's start. Okay, so today we're having a very interesting topic. Okay, so these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. IST Indian Standard Time. So in Ayurveda, how to eat, when to eat, and what to eat. Okay, so we'll just go an overview of all these things which has been mentioned in the text. You can ask your questions after that. Okay, so let's start. Basically, food is called ahara. Okay, so according to Ayurveda, there are 6 tastes, and when you have all the 6 tastes, it's basically called a balanced food, because all these 6 tastes, they have Pancha Mahabhuta, the 5 elements. Out of the 5, 2 elements have been attributed to each and every taste. So when you have a meal which contains all these 6 tastes, then we basically call it as a balanced meal. Okay, so the 6 tastes are sweet, sour, salt, bitter, pungent, and astringent. That is Madhura, Amla, Lavana, Tikta, Katu, and Kashaya. Okay, so if you have these 6 tastes in your meals, we call that to be a balanced meal. Okay. Now, how to eat? So normally what happens is, all of us know that there are basically 3 kinds of substances, solid, liquids, and gas. So when you have to have solids, you also have to consume liquids, and then definitely when you eat, you cannot fill your stomach all the way up to here, right? You have to give it a little bit of gap also. So how is that being done? According to Ayurveda, is very, very clear. Okay, that you have to eat only, half your stomach of solids. And say if your stomach is this much, if half is solid, then the remaining half of that should be liquid, and then the remaining quarter portion should be left for space. Okay, it's the same way cooking happens in your kitchen. You look at the way your mom cooks. When you take a vessel and you're cooking rice, if you fill the vessel completely with rice, it is impossible for you to cook it. So what you do is, half of the vessel is rice, and then you pour a lot of water. Okay, and the remaining quarter part, till that part they actually fill it with water and then leave a little bit of gap for air there. That is when the right kind of cooking happens. Cooking in the vessel, cooking happens here also. So we have to follow the same rule. You cannot fill the vessel up to the brim and expect it to cook really well. Likewise, you can't eat stomach full and expect the digestion to be proper. So half solid, then half water, and half you leave empty space. Hope this is clear. Okay, so this is basically how you eat. Now, when to eat? Okay, see, twice daily is what the textbook says. And this, if you look at when the textbook was written, most of the people were farmers. Okay, and they did not have the 9 to 5 or the night duties and all those things, which the Industrial Revolution wasn't there. And so they said, eating twice daily was more than enough. And right now, if you are somebody who is working from home and not having too much of a stressful life, I would say twice is more than enough. So a person who eats twice is called a bhogi. That means who enjoys food. So eating twice is what the Ayurvedic texts say. But I would say, because of the lifestyle, things have changed. I would say eating thrice is also fine. So the amount of food which you eat when you eat twice daily, okay, suppose you eat 150 grams here and 150 grams here, you can probably divide it into three and have 100, 100, 100. I don't want you to eat more, but you can divide it into three, because the kind of work we are doing actually demands us, okay, to eat probably multiple times. But I don't want you to eat too many times, So eat twice or thrice a day, okay, and eat only when hungry. So there, the main reason for diseases, one is atyashanam and one is adhyashanam. Two different words. Ati ashanam means eating. Ati ashanam means overeating. Adhi ashanam. Adhyashanam means basically, what? After your, before your previously consumed food has been digested, if you eat food, okay, you have got a very, very high chance of falling sick. That means the previously digested food is still, consumed food is still getting digested when you eat the next food. So if you eat small portions multiple times, there's always a chance of you falling sick. So this is what nutritionists used to say probably a few years back. Now they don't say that, okay. And you should not, okay, take food before a shower, in the sense you should not shower immediately after eating food. Okay, your digestion slows down, so you have to wait till the food gets digested before you go for a shower. Now, don't go and do exercise after having your meal. Okay, so it's always good to have your exercise and then come and have your meal. Okay, and meal is always in moderation. As I said, all the 5 tastes, and then follow these rules. There are other things also, small things, but I'm actually touching the major ones. Okay, next, what to eat? Okay, you should not consume food which is too dry. So snigdha ahara has been told, and predominantly madhura also has been told. Okay, so predominantly sweet, in the sense not jalebi, laddu, and pastries. No, not that sweet. Rice is sweet, or wheat is sweet. So most of the carbs, so the base. So that what that means, that you are not supposed to completely avoid carbs when you're having your food. Okay, so it should be predominantly sweet, never too dry. That means it should be. You should add liquids into it, mix it. You can add a little bit of ghee also into it. Never eat dry food. Okay, and consume always seasonally available vegetables and fruit. Okay, as much as possible, go for food which is cooked. Uncooked food actually takes a longer time to digest. Cooked food actually, because as I said, cooking, same thing, cooking happens inside also. So once it is cooked, it is easily digestible. So it's always good, especially if you are not feeling well, and if you feel that your digestion is not up to the mark, it is always good for you to have cooked food rather than uncooked food. Okay, and traditional food. When I mean by traditional food is what you are genetically used to. Suppose you are, see, for me, I'm living in Kerala, born and brought up in Kerala. So whatever grows around me in whatever season, that should be the best food for me. Okay, genetically, because these are the same food which my parents ate. These are the same thing which my grandparents ate, great grandparents. So this physical body is basically their contribution, and those bodies were actually nourished by the food which they ate. So at the end of the day, what is genetically okay with me nourishes me better. Okay. Now, okay. After food, let us get into water also, because water also comes as food. Okay, so you should drink water only when you are thirsty. It is not, let drinking water not become a habit that the moment you see water, you drink water. When you go abroad, especially in the US, you'll see all of them carrying a water bottle. Even if irrespective of whether they're thirsty or not, they keep on drinking water. That is not good at all. Okay, and water is something which you can consume before food, during food, or even after food. Okay, It doesn't matter at all. Only thing is that it depends upon when you drink the water, the effect of that water on your body changes. Okay. So there aren't extremely strict rules for you as far as food goes, but these things, if you follow, by and large, you will be extremely healthy as far as food goes. Okay. So, even when you're thirsty, as I said, you drink water little by little. And so if you take water before food, you will lose weight. If you take it during food, you will maintain weight. And if you drink it after food, you will see that there's always a chance of you putting on weight. Okay, so you follow these rules as far as food and water goes, you will be healthy. Then there is also about cold water and hot water and all this, a lot of things are there. Okay, all those things, yes, we can talk, but if you have got your questions, you can start asking. Okay, questions have started coming in. Okay, Sonali, कुटिप प्रावेशिका प्रैक्टिस करते हैं क्या आपके वहां पे? कुटिप प्रावेशिका is not being practiced in most places. It is, in my opinion, it is not very easy to do that. Kuti praveshika, for other people, I would just want to tell that, the kutir means a hut sort of thing, an enclosure. So you build it in a typical way where it is not directly exposed to sun and wind. There's a measurement in which it has been told in the text, and the person gets into that, and he is constantly given medicines and food, where after a point of time, when he comes back from the kutir, he is young. Okay, that means he loses his hair, he loses his teeth, his skin, everything, and then he comes back as a new person. So kutir praveshika means going inside, and food and medicines are extremely restricted in that. And see, it is basically something like a rebirth. We don't practice this, and I don't know when was the last time a kutir praveshika was done. Okay, documented. I think you meant on the slide, not after a shower. Yeah, okay. So you actually, no, you are supposed to have food only after a shower. Okay, Kim, okay, let me put it this way. I don't know how I written it, I don't remember. But the thing is that you should have your food only after a shower, not before a shower. If you have a shower after food, it will interfere in your digestion. Okay, so shower before your food. On days where one cannot take bath in the morning before breakfast, when is the best time to take bath? Kavita, I understand weekends, you'll get up late on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, then you are lazily walking around the house. I understand that. Okay. So if you don't take a shower before breakfast, you can wait for at least, I would say, it depends upon how heavy your breakfast is, but still give a gap of about 2.5 hours. And then if you take a shower, I think that should be fine. Okay. But not immediately after your breakfast. Water before meal, can it reduce digestive fire? No, Aditya, digestive fire doesn't mention that at all. And you can see nowadays, when we were in college, this was the nutritionist and the doctors used to say, never drink water before your food. And never drink after during meals around, at least drink 1 hour before or 1 hour later, because it can dilute your digestive juices and your digestion will not happen properly. Okay. Acid, if you look at the stomach, Aditya, there isn't any acid in the stomach like that. If there is acid, it will burn the stomach also. You should understand that. So depending upon the amount of food, whatever you eat, acid gets secreted. Okay. So irrespective whether you drink water before or after, there is a certain pH which is maintained in the stomach. That is definitely maintained. That doesn't get altered just because you drink a little bit of water. The body is not that stupid. It is very, very intelligent. Okay. So you drinking water before food will not digest your digestive juices or your acid, and it will not interfere with your digestion. But What happens is if you drink 2 glasses of water before you actually sit to have your food, you'll notice that the amount of solid food you eat will actually go down. You will slowly start losing weight. Okay, that's all. It's not nothing to do with the digestion. Srinivas, does reheated food kept in fridge cause vata imbalance? It's not only about vata imbalance, See, let me tell you one thing here, Srinivas. We believe that anything which is carried forward, the sense which goes through night, okay, will have the effect of moon, and that leads to tamas. And that is not, see, physically how much effect is going to have is something which we are not very sure, but definitely it will have an effect on your mind. Okay, manodosha, you know that tamas and rajas and tamas are the manodoshas. So tamas actually goes up. So just once, say once in a blue moon, you just because you had food, might be once in 3 months or once in 6 months, you had something which was reheated. As I said just before, body is not something which is that what you call weak, that it will go off balance. No, but if you start doing things consistently like that, yes, definitely your digestion will get affected, and your tamas, and you'll slowly start becoming sluggish. Okay, rarely you have one which is reheated. The body knows how to manage that. Okay, Srinivas. Yeah, Sri Raj. Some people say that one shouldn't drink water standing up. Is it true? Yes. What's the logic behind this? One thing, Sri Raj, I should ask you is, why should you drink water standing up? Okay. It is not about whether it creates a problem or not. Generally, we say when you want to consume something, eating or drinking, it's always good for you to sit comfortably and drink. But there are a lot of people who say you drink water standing, it will go into your knees and all those things. That doesn't happen. And we have not, by and large, you don't see any medical issues when you drink water standing up, and nor when you stand up and eat. But it's always good to be at rest, okay, when you are consuming water or when you are eating food. Okay. If living in a really dry environment and we don't always feel thirsty, seems good to drink more water in general. Not sure. No, if you are in a relatively dry environment, then you might drink water. You feel like drinking water. But sometimes when you are in a place which is cool, especially in winters, you notice that you might not need that much of water, and that's true also. Okay, because in summers when it is hot, you might sweat more. Your body might need more water. Plus, you'll notice that you will not as hungry as you are during the cooler seasons, because summer is so hot that you feel like drinking water more. So probably you might drink more water. It also depends upon what kind of work you're doing. If you're somebody working in the field, then you might need more water. If you're somebody who's sitting indoors, might not need much of water. And if you're always in the air conditioned room, then very little water. Okay, air conditioning can actually dehydrate you. That's one thing which you have to bear in mind. Okay, so generally I would say don't drink too much of water, because the water has to actually go through your kidneys. The kidneys has to filter it, and then only it goes out. It's not like you just drink and it goes out. Okay, so that process the kidney has to do it. Kidney is getting worked. Don't overwork something and expect it to actually keep on doing that work for a long period of time. After a point in time, it will say, I can't do it anymore. Okay, so go moderation. Between Sitopaladi and Talisadi is one bit of a chronic wet cough. I would prefer, Talisadi churnam, Talisa patradi churnam, we call that in Kerala. Okay, Talisam marijam shunthi pipili vamsha. That's the way shloka goes. So Talisa patradi churnam. If you say it's a wet cough, chronic wet cough, Talisa patradi churnam mixed with honey and giving it frequently would be the best option, Kim. So how does the same dosha imbalance affect different body parts in different people? Deepti, that's actually a very good question. Okay, I'll tell it very simple. It is not that every part of everybody's body is strong. For example, if I'm somebody who rides a two-wheeler more, you know, with the jerks and all those things, my neck might be slightly on the weaker side. Okay, if like some same thing, if somebody is riding on a scooter which doesn't have very good shock absorbers, his back might have a problem. Okay, if somebody same person, another person is riding a car, okay, a manual car in the city where he uses the clutch a little bit too more, his knee gets weaker. So when the vata goes up, listen to this very carefully here, Deepti. When the vata goes up, whichever part of your body is weak due to your lifestyle or whatever reason maybe, that area gets affected. Okay, more than the other areas. Okay, that's a reason why vata can get affected in the neck for some people, in the back for some people, in the knee for some people, or some people eat all junk food, they can get affected in the stomach also for some people. It depends upon where your, by and large, where your weaker point is. Deepti, I think that is clear. Yeah, Sriraj. My view on modern wisdom of cutting down carbs and eating more protein. You know, the modern view of, see, what they say is, today I was going through another video, okay, where a doctor says you have, it depends upon your weight. Okay, we say 60 kilograms, you one gram per kilogram is what we say, but this video actually surprised me when he was telling about it. He was saying in pounds, so if you are 60 kilograms, you are 172 pounds. That guy was selling 1 gram to 1 pound, so that makes it huge amount of protein. I would say you are actually tilting the balance of the normal food which you have. I would never ask you to have too much of proteins. Yes, muscles need protein, but your body is not only about muscles. Okay, I want you to have a balanced meal, macro meal. That's why I said, when you go for the shadrasas, the 6 tastes, it by and large covers most of the things. Okay, a high protein diet I would never recommend. Yeah, regarding Kuti Praveshika, Vaidya Setu Madhavan of PAH in Kerala, very, very precisely done. Yes, but have you gone, Shweta? I understand that, but have you gone through the final results of it? I don't think it was properly documented. A genuine attempt was made. Okay, Shweta. How to cure extremely dry skin and hair. Okay, dry skin, you should understand that nourishment is not there at the level of the skin, and how much ever you apply something on top, there is a limit to which it can help you. Okay, so I would say, nourishment has to reach the skin in the right way. So when we are talking about the right kind of food you have to eat, I told you never to consume dry foods. Okay, now see, modern science, off late they have been telling that you can add oil, but see, at least 10 years back they were telling, don't add too much of oil in your food. So what happens here is, the moment you consume oil, slowly after it gets into each and every cell, it slowly starts coming out of your skin. And the best way to get good skin and good hair is to basically have good nourishing foods and also do exercises regularly. Okay, when you start doing exercises regularly, you'll start sweating, and you will also see, oil coming out of your skin. Same thing will actually help your hair also. Hair oils also do a really fantastic work, but this thing is something you have to do. Eat good nourishing food, do exercises, and don't miss your quality sleep at night. I don't mean sleep at night in the sense sleep early and sleep really well. The head being kapastan and hot water shower on the head is contraindicated. If someone has congestion in the head, would hot water on the head be okay to? Kim, I would still tell you not to pour hot water on the head. Head is kapasthana. The reason why Okay, we have asked people not to pour hot water on the head. Couple of reasons, two things. Ayurveda says very clearly, Tenevad Uttamangasya Balahrit Kesha Chakshusham. Tenevad, the hot water, when you pour the Uttama on the head, it reduces the quality or the strength of your eyes and your hair. Okay, because eyes is sthan of pitta or fire. If you actually pour hot water, it disturbs the eyes. Okay, you see, I'll tell you, you can actually go through a lot of studies have happened where people, when they pour a lot of hot water on the head and they continuously stand under the shower pouring hot water on the head, has got a very high chance of getting epilepsy, fits. Okay, recent study, it's everywhere. Okay, I don't think Acharya would have meant that, but still I'm telling you, Kim, if you have got a lot of congestion, I would tell you, we would say, ask you to cover the eyes and then do a little bit of steam inhalation. And it need not be very hot. You have to, a mild steam inhalation. If you do it consistently, the phlegm is actually removed, but no hot water on the head. Is it okay to take bath in the evening? Kavita, I would say yes. I don't know what your evening is. I would say if you're only washing your body, yeah, evening 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and all would be actually fine. But I would still say, after 5, 4, or 5 or 6 o'clock, I don't say that you should be basically pouring water on your head. Okay, if you're washing your body, I think it is fine. How can we tell if half the stomach is full of solid food? Okay, Anna, this is actually a very good question. It only comes out of experience. I would say, it all depends upon how much food you can eat. You know that sometimes when you eat food, you're extremely tired. Okay, keep that memory in mind and see that you cut down the amount of food you eat. It only comes out of practice. Okay, some people say the first burp you get, that's when you have to stop. The first burp comes, when the gas in the stomach gets displaced. Okay, so that is one indication. Apart from that, it is by experience, Anna. Okay, that oh, this is all I have to eat. Pragya, is it okay to do Nasyam at night during summer season? Pragya, I would tell it is not. It might not be a good thing to do, even if it is summer, to do at night. Okay, because any day you take, it could be summer, winter, autumn, any day, any part of the year, any season you take, you would notice that the evenings are actually cooler than the day. Okay, and Nasya, because it is getting into the kapasthana, okay, there is always a chance of you getting congested when you do it at night. So contraindications also, when when it is overcast, that's also said. That means when you have got overcast, that means you have got a high chance of getting congested. Don't do Nasya. Okay, better do it in the mornings, Pragya. To consult me, oh yes, you can actually book a convenient slot on drnambi.com, drnambi.com. I can type it out to you. Okay, www.drnambi.com. Book a convenient slot on that. Oh, okay, and then we can definitely consult. Okay, bloating issues, Priya. Okay, bloating issues can happen due to a lot of reasons. Okay, so according to Ayurveda, treatment, when the treatment for the Agni is actually the treatment. See, Agni, we have got 13 types of Agnis. Major Agni is in the stomach, and throughout the body we have got other 12 different kinds of Agnis. So once, see, Agni can be directly correlated to your metabolism, starting from the cellular level. Okay, from the cellular metabolism to the biggest metabolism which happens in the abdomen, so stomach. So if this metabolism is actually taken care of and is in balance, Sama Agni, okay, you are by and large 33% you are healthy. Okay, by and large, I would say you become healthy when your digestion is taken care of. So bloating issues can happen due to many reasons. It can be because of a lifestyle, it can be because of the kind of food you eat, lot of things. Okay, Would sipping water too soon after meals disturb digestion? No, no, Kim. But if you drink a lot of water one go, it might, you might feel very uncomfortable with that amount of water in your tummy. But sipping water before meals, during your meals, and after meals, it will not directly affect your digestion. Uh, Renu, it is the same thing. I think you asked me the same question. Dry skin, dry hair, and extremely dry gut. When you look at the English word, opposite of dry is wet in English language, but in Ayurveda, opposite of dry, that is ruksha. It is not ardha or wet. It is basically snigdha or oiliness. Okay, you have to basically start contributing that oiliness both externally and internally to make your gut also soft. Uh, what are some of the hydrating drinks that we can consume in summer apart from water and coconut water? I think water and coconut water itself is enough. Okay, it is. If you want more, probably you can have a little bit of buttermilk. Buttermilk is actually fantastic. Okay, and sugar. Even though people talk a lot about sugar, but sugar has been mentioned in Ayurveda. But the thing is that the sugar which you get in the market right now is all processed and bleached sugar. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. But otherwise, if you can get the pure sugar, you can mix a little bit of sugar, not jaggery, sugar in water and drink. Not very concentrated. You can drink that. It brings down the heat. One other thing what you can do is you can boil, coriander seeds, right? Gold dhania, we call that. So you can boil half teaspoon of gold dhania in 1 liter of water and use that as your drinking water. It reduces the heat of the body. There is something called daha shamani. Okay, daha shamani, which is available in the market, which generally reduces the heat of the body during summer period. Daha means heat, shamani means pacifier. Add a little bit of that into boiling water, boil that water and drink. Okay, but by and large, if you're drinking water itself is enough. Okay, Nandini. There's a lot of talk that a person has parasites or bacteria, and as in Lyme disease, the carbs feed those opportunities. How? See, I understand that, it is not basically the carbs that is a problem. Moderate carb is not the problem. If you consume something, even for a diabetic person, we don't tell them to completely cut down carbs. But, it is always good for them to cut down on sweetened foods, like pastries or chocolates or toffees and all those things, which has got higher concentration of sugar. But without carbs, Kim, I understand that you might be feeding the parasites, but if you don't take that carbs, you will not have energy for yourself to function, and your immunity depends a lot on carbs also. Your brain functions without glucose. Your brain will not function at all. So I don't want you to completely be off carbs. You can cut down when you've got such issues, but I'm telling you, medicines like which are slightly on the bitter side, tikta rasa, they will actually help you cure from these parasites also. Okay. Yes, Shweta, that's what I said. The documentation has not been proper, so we are not sure whether it went on well or not. And I also know that the person who went through that did not get the expected results also. Of Shatadhauta Ghritam, also to explain how to make it at home. Can you use the face of people from the acne? Yes, thank you. Yeah, Divya Raja, Shatadhauta Ghritam means 100 times to wash ghee. Okay. Yes, you can definitely make it at home. All of us have made it at home, and all of us have made it during our college days also. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to take ghee, you have to pour water into it, really, churn it really well, or beat it really well. You can use a churner also, do it really well. And after that, you wait for some time. You can see the water separate from the ghee. You can pour it out. Pour again water, again do the same process. Once you do it 100 times, you'll notice that you get Shatadhauta Grita. Okay, you can make it at home. Okay, you can go on YouTube, you can see so many videos which will tell you how to make Shatadhauta Grita at home. Okay, it can be used on face for people prone to acne, but it also depends upon what kind of acne you have got. If you have got acne with a lot of pus, then I feel sometimes this might actually increase that, because you want something that, because Shatadhauta Grita, which is cold, which can promote that pus. So you would like to have something which will actually remove that pus, right? So it might not be very useful in people who have got acne, which probably bleeds or which has got a little bit of pus in it. But for dry acne, it works really well. Due to unbalanced diet in our hostel, I've been asked to take multivitamins. It was a long time for the body with such supplementation, Yeah, I understand, Suraj, supplementing anything for that matter, if probably, if you're working on and you are getting paid somebody is paying you 1 lakh rupees a month, you will not work for money anymore because money is being taken care of. Same way the body also thinks, if these supplements and all these micronutrients are something which the body is supposed to take from the food which you eat and from the environment, right? If you start supplementing it, the body will stop manufacturing it, and if it goes long term, I feel that the body will forget how to make it. You're pampering the body a bit too much. If you've got deficiency, I would say, okay, it's fine to have for some time, but don't make it a habit and take it continuously. And one thing you should understand, the body is intelligent enough to take what it needs from the food you eat. Okay, hostel food, I understand, might not great, but that doesn't mean that you should always have supplements. We lived in hostels, food was not very great, but we never had any supplements. We pulled through, Sriraj, okay. How do we improve Agni for someone suffering from hypothyroidism? Okay, see, this is something which we have to go through a proper consultation, Divya. Okay, see, whenever you have got an imbalance in one hormone, definitely the body tries to compensate with that. Okay, so for that, definitely a person who's got hypothyroidism will have difficulty in digestion. So I think we have, in my opinion, it's always good for you to consult a doctor, go through proper consultations and see what all other lifestyle changes you have to make, what all foods you have to avoid, what all foods you have to include, okay, with a few medicines so that your digestion actually or your metabolism comes up. Okay, it's not one medicine. Okay, hypothyroidism, I can say you can take this kashayam. Okay, there's something called Hamsa Badadi kashayam, which works very well for hypothyroidism. But I don't know whether that will work in your condition. That's why I'm not giving you treatments. Is it good to eat mangoes daily in summer? Ripe, juicy mangoes. Wow, my mouth has already started watering. Okay, it is good to eat mangoes. Eat in summer when it's available. But it also depends upon how many mangoes you want to eat. You eat too much of mangoes, and you'll have loose motions. You'll have too much of heat in the body. It is not very good for the eyes if you consume it in abundance. Little bit moderately have. Also share with people around you. Okay. Doctor, if a burp has food smell, doesn't mean low HCl due to pylori. Any comments? Normally, Subhash, you'll notice that if you had a late dinner, okay, or maybe a late lunch and somebody's asking you to eat an early dinner, or you have had a late dinner and somebody's asking you to have breakfast early morning, you burp and you get the taste of the food which you have had, it does not mean that you have got H. pylori. No, don't even go that far. It only means that your previously consumed food has not been digested properly. You can drink a little bit of hot water, wait till your burp actually gets clean. Okay, let us not go far to low HCl or no, it is just, it can be plain indigestion. Instead of adding some pure sugar and water during summers, which is not possible to get in the market, can we add mishri? Mishri now, yeah, Mishri, if it is original, then it is fine. But Mishri also, commercially manufactured Mishri might not be a good choice. If you can get that stone thing sort of thing, but yeah, I think it is actually good. Okay, you can go for it, no problem. Hello world, is black chocolate 75% cocoa good for health? I don't know. Ayurveda does not mention chocolate, cocoa. Okay, so I don't know whether it's good or not, but a lot of studies have happened telling that cocoa is good for the heart, black, especially black chocolate, dark chocolate. So I would say if you feel like eating it, have it, but don't overeat it. Whatever it is, I don't say don't overeat it. Just because something is good, don't overeat it. Just like people are saying drinking black coffee is good for the liver, and you start drinking 4, 5, 6 cups of coffee, your liver might be fantastic, but you might have other problems. Heart might go for a toss. So if somebody says something is good, some research says something is good, doesn't mean that you should overdo it. Okay, use your common sense also. Have, if you feel like having a piece, have, enjoy. Any good mild laxative churn, avipatti churnam, avipatti, not avipatti kara, okay, avipatti churnam is actually a mild laxative, okay, and it is actually good. Triphala churnam also works really well, okay, it's not a problem, but avipatti churnam is actually, if you're asking specifically churnam, that's not anything. Avipatti churnam is actually a very good laxative. Yes, Kim. Yes, we are having a big rain and thunderstorm, so that's the reason why I even have to shout out of my lungs. I am also getting tired shouting. It is very noisy out here. Okay, yeah, you will make a good physician, Kim, because you notice things. I have had IBS resulting in food intolerance like milk and gluten. I find it hard to digest. I feel heavy and uneasy after eating these two foods. IBS have weaker digestion. Priya, I would say, these are all medical things, I would say it's always good that you go and consult a good Ayurvedic doctor in your vicinity, and he will be definitely able to help you. So these are things which you find got a problem, but there might be other problems also. I think a doctor will be able to catch it for you. Okay, and your lifestyle, I would also say, I don't know what time you go to bed, what kind of exercises you do, nothing at all. So just giving you some medicines will not help. See, in Ayurveda, our approach is ahara, vihara, vichara, aushadha. Aushadha is medicine or treatment, is definitely the last option. First is food, then is lifestyle, and then your thought process, stress, and all those things. If all these things are taken care, we don't even need medicine, right? So Priya, I think it is always good for you to go and consult a good doctor. Aha, Atul, can friction in husband and wife relationship increase? See, what happens when you have got tension between partners, your sleep is disturbed, everything gets disturbed, So it's not only dryness, dryness is one part of it. Your whole metabolism goes for a toss. You'll notice that suddenly your cholesterol is going up. Suddenly you'll see, your thyroid issues have started coming in, Everything will go to different places. I would say, Atul, if it is you who is facing that, it is better you resolve it as early as possible. H. pylori is eradicated in Ayurveda by medicines and by Panchakarma. Okay, but again, if you keep on following the same kind of lifestyle, there's always a chance of it reoccurring. But it is actually managed with medications and Panchakarma. No, Avipatti Churna is slightly different from Avipatti Kara Churna. Avipatti Kara Churna does not give that, the soft bowels, expected soft bowels. Avipatti Kara actually works better for acidity, hyperacidity than Avipatti Churna. Avipatti Churna also works, Avipatti Churna, you will see that you will get soft bowels. Social awareness. Bell's palsy or facial paralysis is what most people know that. Okay, It is basically the facial nerve that is getting compressed here. You know, it is treatable. Okay, we have got our own treatment protocol for that. Okay, Ardhitam it's called in Ayurveda. Ardhite Namanam Modhil Thailam Shrotraksh. See, we have got our own ways. It is basically through Panchakarma that we manage Bell's palsy, and it is curable. You can Priyavi. Okay, you can go to drnambi.com, fix up a convenient slot, and then we can consult, no problem. Yeah, Abhipatti Churna, Rohit. Abhipatti Churna is more effective if you are looking for passing soft vowels. You know, Abhipatti Churna is the one which you get mostly in the Kerala shops. Abhipatti Churnam is slightly different from Abhipatti Kara Churnam. Abhipatti Churnam will lead to mild, it's a mild laxative, okay, without any problem. That's why it's okay. That's why it's called avipatti. Vipatta means danger, okay. Avipatti means no danger, okay. So that means you can actually control it. You will not have opens up and goes 10, 20 times and goes out of control. No, it is very mild. That's what's called avipatti churna, okay. Babies are having a glow in their eyes, skin. Why does it missing in adults? First of all, Subhash, we notice that kids don't go through any stress. There are no tension, everything. They are so relaxed and they live in the moment. We are all over the place. That's the reason we are always lost in our thoughts. We are either, guilty of what happened in the past, or we are anxious about what is going to happen in the future. We are never in the now. But a baby is always in the now. That's the reason why you see that glow in the eye. Okay. And the glow in the skin is because, when you look at a baby from birth till the age of about 10 or so is in the kapha stage of the life. That means, they have got more of water and earth in the body. That's it. They're growing. Once you grow and you become an adult, after that, there is no growth. After you have grown, your body is grown to the maximum. After that, what? After that, destruction happens. And that is the reason why dryness comes in. You have to do everything to slow that thing down. Death is inevitable, right? Okay. You can only slow it down. Doctor, please start an online store by procuring good organic stuff, and we'll order from your website and support you. See, thank you very much. But, I also, don't want to take up too many things which I cannot, follow up with. I commit something that's going to be very tough, Just for example, I'm telling you this thing, this is the 48th week that we are doing this. Ask me anything, First of all, I'm running out of topics. One part of it. Second thing is that it's becoming very strenuous because every day, wherever, whichever part of the world I am, Tuesday 9 p.m. IST, I'm logged in, I'm doing it. So if I start an online store, with good organic things, then my headache will be to give you the right kind of things. Then I have to search for people who can actually give me organic things. If I don't make those, this is going to become a big headache. And, I don't want to get into any of those things. And just like Subhash was asking just now, I will also start, my skin will also start getting dry. I will lose all my hair and I'll become very, very old. Okay. So I think at least start ghee. It's available everywhere, man. Don't worry. Okay. So thanks a lot. I think we have almost 50 minutes into the session today. Yeah. Yes, as much as possible, I will continue these things, being available to answer your questions. Okay. So good night, and I'll see you next week with some other topic. Rains in Kerala, it's beautiful. Okay, it's raining really well. Okay. Good night.